Yeah, today was a really interesting day because this week is the Apostles' Fast. For those who don't know, after Easter passed, the apostles went out in the lands of the Gentiles and went out to preach the word of the gospel and Jesus Christ to the heathens and Gentiles. And so this Orthodox fast started on Monday, and it's to remember the apostles. A lot of them did their preaching, but they were martyred because there was a big persecution of Christians, Hebrews and Christians at the time when the Roman Empire didn't know what to do with the rise of Christianity because it was just growing when Jesus ascended. So I feel very happy that I'm doing this fast because I felt like the past 2 weeks was very hectic and spiritually wise. Um, and I just feel like fasting is a great way. It's a great way to control yourself and and just like it calms you. Like fasting is really, really important. So I must have been at my local cafe today and I must have seen a Greek Orthodox priest. Well, I didn't realize he was Greek Orthodox. He was just tall figure with a black, because they like to wear the black robe, and I honestly thought he was Muslim because sometimes, because the Greeks have got really dark hair and they're pale, and he was wearing a black long dress, and first thing I thought was Muslim, and I thought, what day is it? Like normally it's Fridays they come out, and like and then I looked again and he had a cross and I'm like, oh, he's a Christian, he's an Orthodox. And then I had to stop him and I said, hello, are you a priest across the road? Because there's an Orthodox church just across the road called St. Andrews. St. Andrews is also another martyr who came from probably Israel and ended up in Scotland on a boat, like literally, and founded the Church of St. Andrews, and that's why you have the cross of the St. Andrews. So he would have been Orthodox at the time because he was one of the early Christians at the time, and the Orthodox venerate the St. Andrew. So yeah, the guy said, oh yeah, and then I said to him, oh, I'm listening to a lot of stuff on YouTube about Saint Paiosis. He's like a Greek Orthodox hermit, and yes, I am. So I'm watching a lot of videos on Saint Paiosis, and I find it's really, really interesting. Saint Paiosis is a saint, and he lived in the island of Pathos, which is in the Greek island, which is also the island that Saint John, one of the apostles, was based there or something. Yeah, so Pathos, and then from Pathos, obviously Saint John created his St. John Basilica, which is over across the ocean of Pathos into Ephesus, which was the capital of the Roman Empire at the time. So yeah, no, I told him I've been listening to St. Paiosis, and I said, and I also listened to the Metropolitan. There's a Greek guy called something Metropolitan. I can't pronounce it. It's in Greek. But he's also in the island of Pathos, and I've been listening to a lot of his videos, even though it's in Greek. And funny enough, like I read the translation. So I read a lot of the translations in Greek, but for some reason I don't understand Greek, but I understand what he says. Make that make sense. Like he is blabbering away in Greek, and I understand what this priest, this Orthodox priest, is saying in Greek. And even though he talks really, I have this ability with language, like I can make myself understand. And he talks about how, this is the Metropolitan of, hang on, let me just find him on YouTube. So I'm going to share it. he's fascinating, like enthusiastic Orthodox priest who lives on the island of Paphos and has his own monastery. Metropolitan Neophytos of Morphu. That's it. I got the language. So he has a YouTube channel. A lot of the Greek ministers, MPs religiously listen to this guy. Like he's basically the next Saint Piosus. Saint Piosus had many people visit him, like dignitaries, American um, MPs, prime ministers, officials. Like Saint Piosus was the monk, like in the 90s and 80s. Like he was very, very well known. He passed away, and he lived. He even communicated with animals. Now this Metropolitan Neophytos of Morphu Homilies, he was trained by Saint Piosus. So let me read about this Metropolitan Neophytos of Morphu Homilies. His Eminence Metropolitan was born in 1962 with the baptismal name of Omiros in the village of Anozodia. I love that name, Zodia, Cyprus. In 1987, he turned into a monk with the name Neophytos. In 1998, he was elected in the throne of the Holy Metropolis of Morphu, Cyprus. Metropolitan Neophytos has given his blessing for the creation of this channel, so he created this YouTube channel. Make sure you get notified about new videos. Very charismatic guy. Like I've literally listened to a lot of his videos. He's very entertaining guy. Like, why do I keep saying Metropolitan? Well, I don't know what to call him. He's called Metropolitan Neophytos of Morphu Homilios. But I think, yeah, his name is Neophytos. Father Neophytos. Okay. So basically, he has dropped a lot of gems, like because he's there in an island where women are not allowed. So Paphos is a place where Orthodox Christians, male priests, go and they meditate, they pray, like it's holy, like serious. We call it in Amharic Gadam. I don't know what it's called in Greek, but it is literally an island retreat for serious Orthodox monks that want to connect spiritually with Jesus Christ and God, and they get a lot of visions. These monks get visions, they get apprehensions, they see the future. And Neophytos has dropped a lot of gems. Like he's against Europe, Western Europe. He's predicted the fall of Europe. He's not happy that Greece wanted to follow Europe, follow the EU, because if you look at what's happened to Greece, like historically, their economy went crap. Like it's just been a disaster since when they joined the EU. Like they stopped work, like they stopped all their manufacturing, and it was Western Europe that had the upper hand over the smaller states. Neophytos predicted Brexit. He predicted, actually, St. Piosus predicted it. But Neophytos he's really trying to talk about how Cyprus, he's mentioning a lot of things about what will happen in Turkey and how the territories that were taken where he was born, because now it belongs to the Turkish side. He's saying that the Greeks will take that over and they'll even go into parts of Turkey and take it over, turn it Christian. And he's also predicted a lot of Turks will turn Christian. And it's just really, really interesting. So, yeah, this priest I just happened to have seen today, I must have mentioned it to him. I was like, oh, there's a lot of activity happening in that part of world, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, because he must be surprised. He's like, so, and then he asked me, am I Orthodox? I was like, yeah, what kind of Orthodox? And then I told him, yeah, I'm Ethiopian Orthodox. I've been christened. I go to the church, but I think that there should be like a union. I think now a lot of the Orthodox churches are sort of uniting, like the Serbian Orthodox or Russian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, and um, it's it's really really interesting. Um, Neophytos has mentioned how the education system in Europe, well, in Greece, the ministers will contact him and say, "Oh, um, they're trying to preach LGBT in the education system, and it goes against the father's teaching, it goes against the Bible," and he talks about that. He also talks about, one of the women MP in Cyprus contacted him and said, "Oh well, we need some women priests. Like we need to be like the other churches. Like why don't we?" And it's just like, if you're an Orthodox Christian, like it's just silly. I'm a feminist and I don't push for that. I'm sorry. Like our faith is like the first Christian religion, and even I don't push that. But she was obviously following the EU because Europe, because Greece is in the EU, and he mentions like state and religion are different and shouldn't be mixing the two. So no, it was just really really interesting, like hearing his point of view, and then he told me about they've got a website and they also have like Bible practice and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think it's really interesting, and I love the fact that their icons are people of color, like Black Jesus, Black Mary. Like I love that. I love the fact that the Greeks, they don't believe in white supremacy. Like they actually think that white supremacy is a demonic thing, and it's nice to see countries that are not affected by the EU white supremacy agenda. And these nations don't, they are white nations, but they don't worship white supremacy, and they haven't let the icons be, whitewashed, because they don't believe in that. They don't believe in. They know that Jesus Christ is a person of color, so they don't fall for that, and they're totally against it. Do you know what I mean? So really, really interesting. And yeah, I just thought, oh, how random! Suddenly a Greek priest turns up, and I'm like, oh my god, you look like the priests in the island of Pathos. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, so big up to the apostles who were martyred for the faith many, many years ago. And if you look at the regions where they were martyred, one in India, one in Ethiopia. I think St. Mark was martyred in Ethiopia, you know, just to spread the faith. Like they faced what Jesus Christ went through. Obviously, Jesus Christ was worse, but they had to face Roman crucifixion and Roman stoning and being eaten by lions and facing all sorts of things, and the kings just not accepting the religion. It's such a hard thing to go out and preach, but they did the work. They spread the gospel, and because of them we have a religion, we have our faith. And we should always remember the apostles, 12, the apostles, obviously not the bad one that betrayed Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, it is a fast. It's the fast for the apostles. And then after the fast of the apostles will be the fast of the Virgin Mary when she ascends and goes up to heaven. So yeah, it's it's yeah, I think fasting is a great thing. It was just lately there was just so much nonsense. I'm seeing so much nonsense. I had seen so much nonsense, and I'm just seeing just I just today I was just singing that song. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. Like this song is just needed now because that spirit is here on this realm. We're just seeing too much of it. It just needs to go, and we need to fast, guys. Spiritually, like, we need to fast, and we need to. I'm not. We need to do the work of the apostles. We need to preach the word of God and Jesus Christ and our faith, and be open about it. You know, when you know when some, like, I have Muslim friends, and when they talk about, when they mention Allah and all that, I must have said your God, and then they were like, "Oh, but it's our God." I go, "Yeah, but probably is like in a different name, but no, I believe in Jesus, Holy Trinity." And they're like, "Oh, which Jesus?" And it's quite hard. Like, they're obviously asking questions because they're also probably facing an epiphany moment, where their faith is being questioned, and they're wondering, there's more, like, how can they save their soul? And and it's just the time of apostles, where we need to start preaching the faith to especially the unbelievers. And we need to preach, period. Like, we need to preach the faith. you know Sometimes I'd be listening to songs on my phone, on my iPod, and I just think about Jesus. Like, you know that Billie Eilish song, you know that song can be like, if you listen to some songs, you can flip it around and think of Jesus, because there's no way Billie Eilish is singing about a man. I'm sorry. Like, that's a religious song. That's a religious. There is no way that you can sing, like, the words, because I'm hearing a lot of songs that are actually religious songs. Like, they make it seem like it's over a guy, um, but really it's actually, um, she's singing a song about Jesus. I honestly believe that. So which one was it? The one, which one was the Billie Eilish? God, it just sounds like she's breathing. Eilish, uh, song. What the hell was the song? It's always on my iPad. Birds of a Feather. Yeah. That song is not about no random guy. I'm sorry. That is a religious song. Okay. I want you to stay till I'm in the grave, till I rot away, dead and buried, till I'm in the casket you carry. If you go, I'm going too, 'cause it's always you, all right. And if I'm turning blue, okay, please don't save me. Nothing left to lose without my baby. Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know I said I'll never think I wasn't better alone. Can't change the weather, might not be forever, but if it's forever, it's even better. And I don't know what I'm crying for. I don't think I could love you more. It might not be long, but baby, I'll love you till the day that I die. Till the day that I die, till the light leaves my eyes, till the day that I die. I want you to see how you look to me. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. You would keep the compliments I throw you. But you're so full of, okay, yeah, that bit, obviously. Tell me it's a bit, no, so you don't see it. Your mind's polluted. Say you want to quit. Don't be stupid. I don't know what I'm crying for. I don't think I could love you more. Might not be long, but I don't want to say goodbye. Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know till the day that I die. I said I'll never think I was a better alone till the light leaves my eyes. I knew you in another life. You had that same look in your eyes. I love you, don't act so surprised. This is a religious song. I'm sorry. That's not over a man. She's definitely singing about Jesus and somehow trying to connect it with. So, yeah, those are the songs. Like, and obviously the other one is, you probably know, is Lauren Hill, Tell Him. That's 100%, Lauren Hill. tell him. It's a religious song. Tell him, I love him. That's for Jesus. Let me be patient, let me be kind, make me unselfish without being blind. Though I may suffer, I'll envy it not and endure what comes, because he's all that I got. She's singing about Jesus. This is straight up gospel song. Tell Him by Lauryn Hill. It's straight up gospel. Then she says, and tell him I need him, tell him I love him, and I'll be all right. Tell him I need him, tell him I love him, and it will be all right. And it will be, now I may have faith to make mountains fall, but if I lack love, then I'm nothing at all. Jesus said you need to love, yeah. I can give away everything I possess, but left without love, then I have no happiness. That's true. I know I'm imperfect and not without sin, but now that I'm older, all childish things in. And tell him I need him, tell him I love him, and I'll be all right. Tell him I need him, tell him I love him, and it'll be all right. And then she says, I'll never be jealous and I won't be too proud, because love is not boastful and love is not loud. Corinthians, you know that. Tell him I need him, tell him I love him. Everything's going to be all right. Now I may have wisdom and knowledge on earth, but if I speak wrong, then what? Then what is its worth? See, what we now know is nothing compared. So this is the bit. This is actual scripture. See, what we know now is nothing compared to the love that was shown when our lives were spared. And how was it spared? Through Jesus sacrificing himself by coming down on this earth. And it's just the Bible, like it's she's straight up singing for Jesus. And tell him I need him, tell him I love him, and it will be all right. Tell him I need him, tell him it will be all right, and then she repeats that. But this is like, gospel. So I honestly think Billie Eilish is also singing about Jesus. I'm sorry. I want you to stay till I'm in the grave, till I rot away dead and buried, till I'm in the casket you carry. Okay, if you go, I'm going to, because it was always you, all right. And if I'm turning blue, please don't save me, nothing left to lose. And if you go, I'm going to. Okay, because it's always you, all right. And if I'm turning blue, please don't save me, nothing left to lose without my baby. Okay, maybe she needs Jesus. Wait, this really? I cannot, you cannot be singing about a man like this. I'm sorry. It's definitely about Jesus. Like, if she feels he's not in her life anymore, then that's what she would do. I'm thinking that, because there is no way. I mean, we should not be worshipping relationships like this. I'm sorry. The only person you should have feelings for like this is Jesus Christ. And the chorus bit is great. You know, she says, birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know till the day that I die. I said I'll never think I wasn't better alone till the light leaves my eyes. The light is Jesus Christ. Can't change the weather, might not be forever till the day that I die. But if it's forever, it's even better. It's religious. Yeah. Wait, this really, he had a beard? Just, yeah, basically, these people are singing about Jesus. Another song that I've heard and think it's about Jesus is Send Me a Higher Love by Whitney Houston, maybe. Send Me a Higher Love. That's definitely religious. Maybe lyrics. Let's have a look at the lyrics. Okay. Because Whitney sang it, didn't she? in 1986. Send me a higher love. Okay. This is straight up gospel. A very spiritual piece of poetry of the Winwood's acclaimed album Back in the Higher Life, Higher Love was his first hit in 1986. It went to number one as well. So it says, I could light the night up with my soul on fire. I could make the sun shine from pure desire. Let me feel that love come over me. Let me feel how strong it could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, okay. Bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I keep thinking of? Okay. That's Jesus. Like you're singing along to gospel music. And that's the Bible. Like literally that you're listening to something that's hang on. I just broke it here. Let's get back to the history. Yeah, higher love lyrics, back to it. Genius lyrics. And then he says, um, yeah, okay. Worlds are turning and we're just hanging on, facing our fear and standing out there alone. A yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone who's feeling for me. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Okay, and then where's that higher love I keep thinking of? Okay, bring me a higher love. Oh, okay, bring me a higher love. I could rise above on a higher love. Okay, that's good. That's cool. So the next bit, he says, I'll wait for it. I'm not too late for it. Until then, I'll sing my song to cheer the night along. Believe. Oh, that is amazing. Genius, genius lyrics. I don't know if Whitney sang it. Did Whitney Houston sing? Because could anything be more angelic than her voice? Whitney Houston, High Love. Or she must have had like done a cover of it. So, so. Who sang the original? Is this like a so she this they used her voice for this song. It's not even her actually singing. Oh, so she did sing it. She covered the song in 1990. Yeah, let's have a look. So I'm just gonna show you it. True. Very well sung by the late Whitney Houston legend, Voice of an Angel. Yes. So let's have a look at the comment sections. What did he tell you? Orthodox from South Africa here. Somehow found your stream. Can't stay too long to watch, but if you're interested in Orthodox Christianity, look up Father Spiridon Bailey. Basically, yes, I have found him. He's actually appeared on my algorithm. This man has revived an old ancient church somewhere in Scotland, and it's amazing. The church looks so historic, so old. But yeah, no. Apparently, there's like a growing um, rise in Orthodox Christianity. Like a lot of people are becoming Orthodox Christianity. So yeah, today in the cafe, when are you an inquirer? I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. This Greek priest that I saw in the cafe wearing like jet black like outfit, like they wear the Orthodox thing, they wear black, and I honestly thought he was Muslim because they wear black, don't they? And because he's got really dark hair, so I just assumed he was Muslim, like convert or something like that. And until I saw the cross, and then I was like, oh, he's a father. Yeah, and then I started speaking to him, and there was other people in the church as well, other men, Englishmen, sitting there having their lunch. And when I spoke to the father, like they looked at me like, why is she chatting to a random man? Like probably thinking, like, but like we're Orthodox, and this is um, it's because of the faith, and I really wanted to ask him. And then the guy is very, very friendly. He said, "Oh, I'm half Greek, so it's half English, half Greek." And then obviously he understands the language, and I was like, "Oh, there's this big movement going on online, and I'm really inquiring about like what's going on, and because they're doing a lot of like they're seeing a lot of prophecies and things like that." And so a lot of these priests know a lot, if you know what I mean. And that's why I wanted to like research and find out what's going on, because apparently something is going to kick off during somewhere near the Black Sea. And I've also, I have been getting calls that I really need to go to Turkey. I don't know why. I need to go to Turkey, and I'm going to Turkey. Like, I really need to go to Turkey. So the hell is that outside my bloody window? Stupid ass people. I swear to God. Mess with me. Mess with me. So yeah, I should really. It's the wind. I need to go to Turkey. So I've been researching where I want to go to Turkey, and I've booked it. I'll be going there this summer. I have to see the ancient sites before something kicks off in that country. Something is telling me something is going to kick off, and I need to go to Turkey. So yeah, um, what does it say? The Eastern Greek Orthodox Church is the most ancient and has the most martyrs, sees the most miracles, and produces living modern saints. Yeah, they're literally like on an island called Paphos. So I'm going to be in Turkey, and across the ocean. My friend is actually on the island across the ocean, and she's like, "Oh, we should get on. I should really hop on the boat and get on the Greek side and see her." So that would be nice. Um, so yeah, no, that's really really interesting. My colleague is also a priest. Um, he's an Ethiopian Orthodox priest. So he obviously, I really respect priests because they've read a lot. So I'm gonna obviously speak to him and find out scriptures. I have amazing like historic books and stuff. So my colleague, me and him were invited to like an embassy yesterday, and this is like a country that is an Orthodox country, and they have like a library. And I know those government staff don't read. Like, come on now, they don't read. It's not their cup of tea. So we're going to be having access to the library. Me and the priest can't wait. We are so going to the library and checking out their collection because there are some ancient books that was given, to that embassy by the Queen of England. So I want to go through that. Um, so yeah, no, that's something that we need to do. And yeah, I just have this calling to go to Turkey, and I really need to go there. And I have to go there before something kicks off because I've got a feeling something will kick off there soon. Um, and also because I have like connection to Orthodox priests, I want to go with like an entourage of priests to go to Turkey and to do like to deliver service and stuff and to help the Christians in Turkey that are being persecuted. And my final message to you is the scriptures that most Protestant people hold so authoritative were compiled and canonized by the Greek Orthodox fathers. Well, I know that there were Orthodox priests that used to come to Ethiopia. I do know that we have some ancient churches that was actually established by Orthodox priests. I know that, and that's Saint Joseph Church was actually founded by the Greeks. Such a beautiful church. Like Joseph is the best church, and it's right near my mum's house. And I know that they were also, I don't know whether it was Greeks that were from like the Turkish province, I'm not sure, but there was a lot of Greeks in Ethiopia 100 years ago for some reason. And a lot of them have mixed in with the Ethiopians, so now they look like Ethiopians. But there was that region was a place of refuge for Armenians and Greeks, and I do remember that they did build one church, and that was Yosef. And the style of it looks like a Greek church as well. But no, that's really interesting. So no, it was just interesting to meet this Greek priest, just say hello, and I'm aware of what's going on in his country. I'm aware of these so-called prophecies that they're talking about that's going to happen, and also, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, when that feminist from the EU, Greek from the EU Parliament, she must have said, "Oh, we need more women priests and stuff to this priest called Neophytos." She must have said that to him. Oh, when are we going to have our own women priests? The Protestants have women priests, and then he said to him, "We worship the Virgin Mary." Like he gave her the best response. He mentioned the Virgin Mary. He was like, we venerate the Virgin Mary. Like she's like the mother of God, and how can you say that our religion doesn't respect women? We worship the Virgin Mary, and you know, and so that he mentioned that to her, because she's following the EU, the how the EU, like, women should be leaders, and as somebody who's a feminist, like, literally, I don't agree. I don't think religion and politics should mix. And to be honest, I mean, the Orthodox faith in my country take it even more further. They expect women to be extremely covered up. Like, they've gone ultra Orthodox. And I must have, when I took my child in Ethiopia in Stephanos, Saint Stephen, I literally went and to take my kid to be, um, what is it, take the Holy Communion, and some woman wouldn't let me in. She's like, "Oh, you're wearing eye makeup," and I'm like, and I did resist, and I'm like, my mum used to wear it back in the day. What happened, right? But now the church in Ethiopia has become ultra Orthodox. Like, the women really do cover up, oh, anyway, they have a point. But I was just annoyed because I was just trying to, like, you know make sure my child took the Holy Communion. And they're like, "Oh, we'll take your child for you." They're just extreme. The ones in Ethiopia are extreme. Like, come on now. Like, I had my headscarf, but no, they wanted me to go the whole, like, and wear white. And that's when I was like, who are you to tell me? Like, you don't know. Like, just because you're covered up doesn't mean you're holy. Like, I really don't believe in that. Right. What's this? And my final message to you is scripture. Okay. Women can be deaconesses. No higher rank than that. Yeah, I'm sure Mary Magdalene had, like, a role in the church, didn't she? So it has mostly been abolished, with the last Orthodox deaconesses being ordained in the 1930s. Really? I had no idea. I think they obviously got rid of them in our church as well. Do you prefer ultra Orthodox or ultra Antichrist? Why would I choose either? I mean, it's good to be Orthodox, but yeah, we have to. Anyway, also, you look just like my friend. His parents are Oromo. He is a doctor in America. I'm actually Ethiopian and I'm not Oromo, but we're all the same people. So can't really tell the difference. Um, but yeah, all the same and stuff. What did I want to say? So basically, I felt like I feel like, with the Orthodox Church in Greece, it's definitely very male. I feel like very male orientated. I would like to see the women sort of. I think the women that do become very Orthodox are very old women, from what I can see. Um, like, really old women that become nuns. Um, but I know that the men have more. Maybe that's like a Greek culture thing. I don't know. I mean, the island doesn't allow women there. The island of Paphos, women are not allowed. I find that a bit strange. I think women should be allowed. Um, there's only certain churches in Ethiopia where women are not allowed, and it was a church that was affected by an Ethiopian woman queen called Queen Judith, who went around killing the priest. Like, she was one crazy Ethiopian queen, like, to the point where the Arabs were scared to go near that region. Like, she had complete control of the country for 40 years. Everybody was scared. And that was the only time they barred women at a particular church, because this queen, like, went on a rampage, this Ethiopian queen, and her territory was Somalia at the time as well. But the Somalians do respect her because she put men in their places. So, yeah, the women in Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, they're quite feisty. Like, they can't, like, yeah, they do, they have a lot of power, basically. I think Greek culture is a bit different. It's very masculine from what I can see. It's very patriarchal. The women are not, they don't have as much power as the men. Like, whereas it's the other way around in the South. It's just a cultural thing. So maybe that's why you see that reflected in the church, like in the church hierarchy and stuff. I think. What is it? It has also you. Okay, Christ's disciples were all men. There was no wokeness in the scripture at all to be found. No, you see, the Virgin Mary is a woman. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. Like I said, the original Christians were actually my people, the Nazarenes. Like they were Christian, and then other nations, once they were baptized by John and the evangelists, then they took on the religion, like the Greeks and the Romans. So I think women had a lot more power because naturally, the regions where I'm from, women have a lot of power, and even though they're Muslim, it's still very much matriarchal, especially the Yemeni, that region, Somalia, Sudan, Ethiopia, those regions are still very much matriarchal, and also ancient Egypt as well. It's a matriarchal society, and men and women were always equal. Like that's our lineage, whereas Europe was a bit different. What was I going to say? Got to go. All the best on your travels. Thank you. And if you're brave, look up Andrew and Richard Wilson and could give you an interesting perspective on feminism. David was a red-haired boy. Christ was a descendant from David. Okay, no, that's nonsense. He wouldn't survive in the sun with red hair, and there's no way he would slay Goliath. So David was definitely not red-haired. Okay, David was a very handsome man. I'm not saying gingers are not handsome. Gingers actually have a lineage. Like if you go way back, there were black people anyway. Apparently, Christ was descended from David. No, David was actually an African. David was an Ethiopian. His mother was an Ethiopian. So that's not true. He's a Hebrew. Yeah, but the Hebrews left Rome. They left the Hebrew land and went to Africa. That's a fact. They got scattered all over the world. So the real Hebrews, anyway, the ones with the bloodline. But obviously they don't teach you that, do they? You didn't know that. But anyway, I think it's interesting to listen to Neophytos. Let me see if I can share my screen because it's really fascinating. Where's the latest one? Ah, fasting. That's quite it's true. That's one thing I rate the Greeks. They're very philosophical. Like they have so much like knowledge in terms of philosophy and things like that. And I think like the priests are, very intelligent people. I believe the soul does come alive. It was a real faith. When I repeat, say to God, it's true. It's true. I think I believe that fasting has so many benefits for that reason itself. Um, it's very beneficial. But he's very charismatic. Like even when he speaks Greek, you can understand it. I can understand him clearly. You know. Let's hear about Saint Matrona, the blind about our time. So there's like so many like unknown, yeah, times, like unknown people who have prophesied and everything and things like that. Oh, passed away. No way. This guy's too young to pass away. 40 years into the album. Mm, okay. The replacement. Okay. So really focusing on many people for a week. So that will happen before you pray. Mhm. Yes, so true. Yeah, not everything has to be bloody enjoyment and selfishness. Yeah, it's lovely. Absolutely love that. I like their chanting, and it sounds Turkish. Like it's very similar. I mean, they're right next door to each other. And what's this? I became a kata Truman myself last Sunday. What is that? He became a catechumen. I'm gonna have to Google that. I'm sorry. There's just too many things to learn. What is a catechumen? What is it? A person who is receiving instruction in preparation for Christian baptism or confirmation. That's good. Oh, that's nice. Well done. Yeah, in terms of fasting, honestly, you need to. The food is absolute garbage. I swear, they're putting crap in the food. Like, please don't eat meat anymore. I don't know what they've done to the meat. Have you noticed, like, when you eat the food, like, it just doesn't make you feel right? And you need to fast, like, avoid the meat. Something in it they're putting in the dairy, like, it's really good for your flesh, like, to just fast because the food they're giving us is absolute garbage anyway. And also, like he said, like your soul doesn't want all that rubbish in you anyway. The soul is happy when you fast. It gives you control, and all these people stop attacking you when you fast. Like these randoms, like, oh my god, if you've had the amount of spiritual attacks I've had the past month, I've had all sorts of randoms. But you know what? Because I'm an Orthodox Christian, I can handle it. It's fine. I've literally had random attacks, like in terms of verbal like attacks and stuff, and I'm seeing weirdness from people, like weird behavior, and I'm like, I need to fast. Listen, I am fasting. I'm not. It's not even. Hmm. I mean, I'm asked like even Muslims are like asking about my religion. Like that's how much they're also facing attacks. They're considering Jesus Christ. I was like, yeah, if you want to live eternally, you should accept him and give them that verse. Because these streets are not safe. Like it's not as the Orthodox Greek Orthodox priests, they know all that knowledge. They live in an island of Paphos, secluded. They have all sorts of visions. They're saying how the West is done. The West is done. Like they're giving off a lot of visions. The other Orthodox holy woman, one I mentioned, her name's Ahita Mariam. She's also come up with a lot of prophecies. She's Ethiopian, and the recent one that she posted, all her predictions have come right. She's also Orthodox, and she speaks Amharic, so I understand. Oh. Basically, she's saying if Ethiopia has peace, the rest of Africa will be peaceful. Yeah, so basically, that's why they're always messing with Ethiopia. They're always like putting insurgents and terrorists in that region because if Ethiopia is safe, the rest of the Africans will wake up. That's an impact. I've heard it. Yeah, we know that the Council of Nicaea, the Roman Catholic Church, removed a lot of the European canonized books. So that's her talking about that. What does she say about Trump? Amazing. I've been listening to her for years. I think basically he says how they're Freemasons, and actually, Metropolitan Thesos, he mentioned how the Freemasons are running the world. So it's like the same, like they're Orthodox. They speak a different language. She's saying the same things as the Greek Orthodox are saying. He's saying how he's one of the fallen angel seeds. You know, when they came down and had kids, like they're saying he's one of the Nephilim's kids. Well, he looks strange, so probably. Yeah, they definitely give off those vibes. So yeah, that's one of her videos, and here she is as well. What is she saying here? She's a bit feisty. Okay. So she's talking about the fast. She's saying those people who curse the Virgin Mary, how would you feel if somebody insulted your mother? Like, what is wrong with you? Because the Protestants are so rude about the Virgin Mary. She's saying if anybody insulted your mother, you'll bring out a stick, you'll bring out a stone. So how dare you insult the Virgin Mary? That's what she's saying. The Virgin Mary is protecting Ethiopia, and she is like our guardian. It's a shame that Britain had, after the Reformation, removed Virgin Mary, even though it was her island. Basically, it was the Virgin Mary who helped you. Well, when you took the COVID jabs, it was her who helped you. So the Ethiopian people are being warned to repent and love each other instead of hating each other. We're being given like a time frame, and time is running out. They better fix up. If they had their way, they would have killed millions more. But thanks to the Virgin Mary, we were saved. The Virgin Mary basically saved a lot of African countries. If you look, like it wasn't as high. They expected Africa to be like the highest. Like the Western evil media were actually pushing, like, oh, they don't have a facility. Funny enough, it was actually very low, especially if they had very, very low COVID because the Virgin Mary helped them. She saw a big lesson in Italy.